This is
first time shooting in public.
I know, right? No lah, it's not the first time, but I think this is the first time in public in a private place.
Yeah.
Huh?
Normally in public.
In a car. So you don't get that sense of self-consciousness you get, because even people are staring at you, you can just ignore them.
Yeah.
The anonymity of the windows shield you from
the tint, trust in the tint.
And then usually we're in very expensive cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, judge me all you want, peasant.
And then later return the car.
This is our new format, Autophiles, Bo and Subhash here. This is our new format, our podcast. I'm not going to say weekly lah, because
knowing our luck with schedules.
yeah, we are all quite busy people. We all have our things going on. This is like the side hustle. It's not even the side hustle. It's like the triple side hustle.
The triple side hustle where we pay the bills.
Yes. Yeah, most of the time we end up paying for the bill, so it's not really generating a huge amount of income for us.
But this time,
so this is our new, not a format, but we are adding this to our existing format. This is our podcast, video podcast that we'll do, where we will talk about given topics and news of the fortnight or the month. And for our first installment of this video podcast, we have The Good Guys Restaurant and Bar. Currently we're at The Good Guys at Arkadia, Desa Park City.
yeah.
And they are kind enough to allow us to film here in this very comfortable, very quite upmarket place. Look at this sofa, man.
This is like
nice stuff, and some free beer. Thank you very much, TGG.
Yes.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. Use a Grab.
So so what's up now, Subhash? What's new?
The latest piece of news.
Okay.
Post MCO, post
Right.
COVID, and all that is Mazda is putting their 2.5 liter turbocharged engine inside the Mazda 3
My goodness. Now we tested the CX-9,
with the 2.5 turbo.
but we lost the footage of the
Unfortunately.
Yes, we lost the footage, unfortunately. But to be honest, I wasn't too impressed. I think personally it was an expectation thing, because you're talking about price range of
Almost 300k.
almost 300k. I mean, yeah, but then you're talking about real premium category here. It doesn't have that dynamism that I feel in a BMW or an Audi, right? So I wasn't too impressed with it. But I have to say, that thing was heavy, and the engine is quite impressive. But I heard very good remarks about it in the CX-5.
Yes. I have yet to arrange a test car for the CX-5, but the CX-5 2.5 turbo, that thing is a base model Macan killer.
Oh yeah. Oh, you say that before.
I say that before.
So CX-5 2.5 turbo is like a Macan killer.
Yeah.
But at half the price.
Yeah, 185,000.
Yes.
Like 420 Newton meters of
Correct.
torque.
I mean,
Crazy.
and to be honest, CX-5 doesn't drive half bad. I wouldn't say it's great, but it doesn't drive half bad.
Your
So it's
expectation
decent.
is here, and it drives like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So if you're comparing to things like CR-V or what, you were talking about a yard ahead, lah.
Yeah.
Of course, if your expectation is that of X3, maybe but if you're not that level of expectation, I think the CX-5 is not a bad deal.
Yeah.
Especially with the 2.5.
And this is the same
turbo.
exact 2.5 turbo with all-wheel drive. That's
In
going
the
in
CX-3.
in the regular 3.
Oh my goodness.
So
That thing weighs what, 1.1 ton?
300 kilos lighter than a CX-5.
Oh my goodness. Now
So-
here's the thing. We reviewed the Mazda 3. It was the craziest car I've ever driven. It was the fastest slow car I've ever driven. It was so slow, but it felt so fast.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. It feels like a sports car.
It is. And it's just a regular hatchback.
Correct.
It's not even a hot hatch. It's not
Exactly.
an MPS or anything.
It's not even a GTI or anything. I mean, of course, the speed is far from a GTI, but it feels like a GTI. It feels like a hot hatch from the 90s. Satya GTI, remember that?
Yeah.
That involved feeling, that tight
all
steering.
the noise and the fury,
Yes.
the vibrations,
Yes.
but no speed.
But no speed. But you can have fun. I mean, we at Autophiles promote slow car fast. Yeah. You can have a lot of fun in very slow cars, as long as they are tuned right.
Yeah.
And Mazda 3 1.6, was
1.5.
it? 1.5 is one of those slow car fast that, like that, what is Hachiroku. It's like, Hachiroku, they are not fast by today's standard, but they involve you in the driving experience. And I would strongly advise you to go and watch our Mazda 3 1.5 review. Yeah, but now they're dropping a 2.5 turbo into that
Crazy,
thing.
man.
What are they telling? What AE86? What are they telling the Subaru PBRZ?
With that 2.5 turbo, that's what 220 or 230 horsepower.
Okay.
And 420 Newton meters of torque
Wow.
in a hatchback, a C-segment hatchback.
To be honest, I think they ought to retard the torque. That's way too much torque for something so small.
According to the slides, exactly the same thing.
What?
But all-wheel drive.
Okay.
So it's like remember the A250 we drove?
Right.
Also all-wheel drive.
Right.
Also 2-liter turbo.
Yes.
But now Mazda is doing it. I was just doing some price comparisons to gauge where it will come in.
Okay.
Because the CX-5 2.5 turbo is 180.
Okay.
The 2-liter base model is 137, 140.
The entry level
The
for
entry level.
CX-5.
Yeah. So you got a
Okay.
40k price difference. But that is CKD.
Okay, but
So,
the Mazda 3 is CBU.
Mazda 3 is CBU
From where?
Japan.
Oh wow.
So Mazda 3 comes in at 140 for the 1.5.
So marginally more expensive than 2-liter CKD CX-5.
Yeah, I think it will end up 200k
Or close to.
or close to.
Or close to. It could be
Possibly
higher even.
more, yeah.
Because of import taxes for
Yes.
capacity. 2.5 is quite
Exactly. It
significant.
kind of compounds a lot more.
Yes, correct. So safe expectation 210,000.
Yes. And then you have to think about this. 210,000 is the price of what? A200 with a 1.3 liter engine.
It is.
Yeah.
But I remember 10 years ago, 210,000 gets you a Honda Civic Type R.
Yeah. And this is basically almost as fast as that. Maybe not as harsh, maybe not as
Yes.
performance oriented.
Yes.
But the specs are.
It definitely is there.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be close to it. It's also close to a Golf GTI 10 years ago.
Yeah.
At that price, it was around 200,000.
Yeah.
Golf GTI. So a 2-liter GTI. So interesting stuff, Mazda. I don't know what you're doing, to be honest.
But it brings us to today's topic, which is
Premium.
premium.
Yes.
What defines premium in the automotive segment?
All right. So you want to?
Yeah.
I mean,
we're in a pretty premium place, so I think it's a good place to start. We can bring examples from this location.
Yeah, it does feel premium, but
Yeah.
we'll get into this
get
place
into
a
that.
little bit. But you see, automotive industry it's all hype. It's a lot of
A
hype.
lot of hype, yeah.
And everybody wants to be premium. You know, I mean, I don't blame people. Everybody wants to feel good. I mean, of course, I would rather drive a BMW than to drive a Toyota.
Yeah.
But I would rather own a Toyota than to own a BMW. You get what I mean? So, premium.
The drive, the experience of being in a car, the entire thing is something that you yourself enjoy in your head, and also you want to be seen enjoying
It's
it.
projected as well.
Yeah.
It is entirely subjective. I realize. No, this whole topic about premiumness. What makes a brand premium? What makes BMW premium? What makes Rolls-Royce premium or hyper premium? What makes Mercedes premium? I realized I kept thinking about it, and I personally think it is entirely subjective. There is no objective yardstick to gauge what is premium.
I have to disagree with you.
How come?
I think there are objective things that you can see parallel in the premium space. You
Okay,
know?
premium space meaning
Meaning
BMW,
BMW,
Mercedes, Audi,
yeah,
the standard
Volvo,
lah.
The standard,
Okay.
whatever you're paying at least 50,000 more just for the brand.
Okay.
You can see they're doing very similar steps.
Okay.
But within those steps is where all the subjectivity is. So I cannot tell you how to match this sofa color with this wall or whatever
Yeah.
it is. That you need an interior designer for
Okay.
that. But you need to know exactly. You need to concentrate on this aspect. On design. Design is always
Right.
important.
Right,
in
right.
Premium.
Right.
Of course, how you go about it is always subjective.
Okay.
The way you handle your press, the pictures you put out,
Yeah,
the kind of
The flair.
performance, yeah, and even the
Yeah.
lifespan of your product
Yeah.
kind of ties into
Okay.
premium.
Okay.
So I've noticed there's some parallels, and you can see like some brands try to go up market.
Yeah.
Kia and Hyundai,
Yeah.
they do some steps correct, and then some steps wrong.
I mean, what you raise here is a very important point. You know, okay, fine. We have some relatively objective yardstick as to what is premium. I think our viewers would agree. BMW, Mercedes, Audi, and anything above this. Of course, you're talking about Porsche, Maserati, Rolls-Royce, and whatnot. Even parallels to this, like Mini, all of these are premium. Okay, agreeable. But therein lies the problem. Many non-traditionally premium brands has premium product. I'll give you an example, Toyota.
Yeah.
Now, Toyota mostly are utilitarian. Okay? A little bit pricier than it should be, but utilitarian. But once in a while, you get
Mark X,
Yes.
Crown,
Crown,
Century.
Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Alright? So you have premium Toyotas. You have premium Hondas.
Yes.
Yeah? You have premium Subarus, not comfortable.
Yeah.
WRX STI. So I spent a long time trying to identify what is objectively gaugeable as premium. I cannot come to any point other than this: desirability. To be honest, the only thing that binds all premiumness together is you say just now, oh, it must look good. Not necessarily. A lot of BMW looks damn ugly.
That's true.
X3 is horrible looking. I mean, okay, fine.
It looks.
That's not called horrible. Yeah. It's so plain Jane. You might as well call it a Toyota-looking BMW.
Yeah. Change the grille, change some styling cues. It's ugly.
It's a Toyota. Yeah. It's not great looking.
It looks worse than most Hyundais.
Correct. But it is desirable because it's a BMW and it drives like a dream. Right? Okay. So ultimately, I think the only objective criteria I can think of is desirability. Right? So for me, premium has to be desirable. It doesn't have to look good. Many are ugly. Some say Bugatti are ugly. Some say they are pretty. So it's very subjective. But it has to be desirable. Whether it be performance. So you have sports cars, like ugly cars that are desirable. Subaru WRX STI. They're very ugly things. They're very uncomfortable, very horribly built, but desirable for certain markets. Right? Lancer Evo in that market. Another one, desirable, like Crown. Because ultra comfortable, huge space. Not necessarily expensive for what you're paying, but luxurious. Yeah? So there must be some desirability about that. It cannot just be a utilitarian product for it to be premium for me.
For me, I think it's the counterpoint to that is, yes, there's a lot of brands who do like the one-off premiums.
Yeah.
But then the whole reason the brand doesn't get elevated into the premium space is because you look further down the portfolio and you say, hey, the first thing that is not there, which isn't to me desirability. Maybe desirability is the benchmark that you put against. But the first thing that should be there is consistency.
Okay.
In your entire product
portfolio,
in your entire portfolio, in the way you execute a product.
Right.
Jumping from the cheapest model in your portfolio to the most expensive.
So you're talking, for example, like from a 7 Series to an X1.
Yeah.
Right? There are some consistency there.
Exactly.
But therein lies the problem. You see, with BMW, to be honest, if you look at an X1, I struggle to call it premium.
Right. But you go inside and the signal stock still behaves in that same wonky way.
Okay.
The materials, you may like it, you may not like it, but you go inside, it's like
fine. Okay. I concede BMW as an example. I give you another example. Mercedes. Now, in the early mid 2000 or late 2000, I was working for the Jaya Group, and we're selling Mercedes-Benz commercial.
I know what you're going to bring up.
Commercial.
I need to take a sip of beer.
Now, Mercedes-Benz are generally regarded. I mean, it's the par excellence. It's the standard by which
every
premium is judged against. Now, of course, if you sit in an S-Class and an E-Class, you feel that it's there. That being said, have you sat into a semi-commercial Mercedes-Benz? I'll give you an example. Mercedes-Benz Vito. Yeah. My goodness, that thing is 99% a commercial vehicle and then 1% wood veneer because it was sharing it with the S-Class. That's the only reason why it has a wood veneer there. So, that being said, I don't know, we're selling the Sprinter. Dude, that thing is not a luxury. It's not a premium product. Vito can be dressed up in a way to make it like
an Alphard.
But it still has its commercial underpinning. It is like taking a Hyundai Starex and turn it into an Alphard.
Yeah. You can't run away.
You can't run away because it is rough. There is not enough MVH. The design is meant for space and utilitarian purposes. You can't run away from the roughness that comes with it.
Right.
Whereas an Alphard is ground up luxury. You get what I mean? Yeah. To a fault, to a level where you can't even carry heavy stuff. You get what I mean? Yeah. So because of that, I don't know lah. I feel that this gauge where every product must be premium. Yeah, maybe to a certain extent. But that being said, even Rolls-Royce, you take a Phantom and you look at a Ghost. My goodness, the amount of cost cutting in a Ghost. Look underneath the seat, you see cheap plastic. Even the door handle is plastic, whereas in the Phantom is completely chrome metal. So how do you justify that? I mean, the plastic chrome door handle is, might as well call it a Mark X.
I suppose then we're looking at two aspects. You see, Rolls-Royce and Mercedes-Benz came in with premium, with the legacy of premium. They always had the best, the most desirable products. And then now they're competing in a space where BMW has climbed their way up. So the way BMW climbed their way up is they're making shitty cars back then.
Performance-oriented shitty cars.
Even before that, 60s.
Oh, 60s. I am not
70s.
that well.
The era of BMW where we all don't know anything.
Because they were nothing.
Because they were nothing. The Isettas and
Yeah.
all that.
The motorbike-looking
The
thing.
motorbike-looking things, all
with the
those
front door open.
Can you imagine a brand that was making that within half a century climb above a Mercedes?
They redefined premium because they changed it from luxury to dynamism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But not just that, they started paying attention to how to do premium.
Okay.
And that's where I see, Mazda is trying to do what BMW is doing, which is climbing up into that space.
Yes, I think that there is Mazda paying you for this?
No. These guys are...
These guys are paying by beer. Anyway, so Mazda is an interesting example because you see Japanese brands up to now, if they're gonna go premium, they set up a new brand.
Yes.
Lexus by Toyota, Infinity, which completely failed by Nissan.
Still alive for some reason.
Rental car company lah.
Acura doing pretty okay.
Acura, but they were never really groundbreaking. They're just in America, right?
Honda knows how to budget themselves, so they don't overstep.
Okay, so whenever they want to go premium, they set up a new brand. They rebrand themselves. They set up a headquarter in the West.
Hyundai did Genesis also.
Hyundai did Genesis. Kia doesn't have one. No.
But Hyundai Group is considered.
Okay.
This
Genesis.
is our premium brand. Yeah.
Now Mazda is an interesting example.
But the story is basically in 2008.
Yeah.
Ford was like, I got no money left. Everybody go, get out of my house, all my children go. So Mazda bought themselves back.
Yeah.
And then they look at the market and they realize, we don't have the volume.
Right.
We will probably never have the volume.
Correct.
If we invest in enough factories to have the volume,
right,
we will probably lose and die.
Yes.
So the only way is up the premium brand.
So from 2008.
Yes. Which is when the first
CX-5
came out.
The first CX-5.
And then you suddenly notice, why do Mazdas look so good suddenly?
Yes.
Why do they look so consistently good?
Correct, but their pricing are not premium.
The pricing
at the time,
well, they were always a little bit more expensive than certain makes.
Okay.
So the pricing was maybe 10%, 5%.
Okay.
A bit more than a competing Honda or Toyota.
But the first Mazda CX-5 was cheaper than Honda.
Yeah. That was the miracle part. That's Bijaya Group lah. I think you know more about it. So they started on this. Basically, you could see premium happening before your eyes. Whereas with BMW, I think no one was really paying attention.
Okay.
It just happened over a span of 40 years.
Right.
Whereas Mazda was like, our entire
we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I thought about it a little bit, and in the industry, people are talking about how Mazda is trying to go into the premium market. Not only by going into premium market, by giving you a premium feel with their vehicle, which I think we'll discuss a little bit. What does it constitute premium feel? But also in terms of pricing, and this is I think a main shocker to a lot of people. Mazda 3 is extremely expensive. Not just in Malaysia, and not just because it's CBU, but it is worldwide.
Australia, everyone's complaining.
Everyone is complaining that Mazda is expensive. But I feel they are not consistent with all their product range. You really, and I tested this myself. Do you look at a guy who drives a CX-5 and go, whoa, CX-5?
I have friends my age who are driving CX-5.
Yeah? You don't, right?
No.
Because you know that thing starts from 137, correct? It's cheaper than a CR-V. Okay? But here's the thing. When you see a young lady, driving a CX-30, you know she makes a fashion statement.
Yeah.
And that comes very close to that mini market that I can afford something more, but I don't want. I want something fashionable. So some Mazda products are definitely in that category. Subjectively for me, I feel that this is in that category. CX-30, Mazda 3. Yeah? Mazda CX-3. CX-3 is also in that market. I feel CX-4 in China is also in that market. But I do not admire a CX-5. And I do not admire a 6. Which is really weird.
I think CX-5 is their money maker. It's their Corolla, so to speak. That car alone basically turned their fortunes around. First car out of Ford. Immediately everyone, like before this, who would think about Mazda as an alternative to Honda? Right. Immediately biggest volume seller. Then they realized all the other cars are not selling. 6 was selling quite well in Malaysia. Because you had a lot of Camry uncles, a lot of Accord uncles saying, current Camry is ugly as heck, I'm going to go for Mazda.
Okay, but herein lies the problem. I realized that examining over the years, from the 90s until now, it's been 30 years. Mazda has always looked a little bit better. Like from the 626 to the 323 Lantis, I remember the Lantis, I was so infatuated with the Lantis, it was so good looking. But it always disappears after a while. Yeah, it just disappears in the background and everybody forgets about it.
The only time you see this one faded paint one.
And you have a theory about how Mazda disappears in the background because they use cheap paint and then it fades into. What nonsense is that?
Nonsense, yeah. So now with crystal soul red, never fade.
We should pay more for it. But I do get that. I do see what Mazda is doing in the past 10 years. I do feel that some Mazdas are becoming premium. I felt that when I was inside the CX-30. And then when I was there and that salesman was beside me and I was like, whoa, the color scheme is very mature, very luxurious, very
well appointed.
Yes, like this kind of brown with that kind of red, that kind of feel. But when I heard the price, I'm like, oh my goodness, are you serious?
It's tough to justify.
It's a bit difficult, but I see people driving it.
Yeah, it's getting.
I see. I was just paying attention. Since we discussed on Monday what we're going to talk about, everywhere I go, I just looked at people who drive Mazda, and I realized, hey, there was a young mother driving a CX-30 with a very young child. She is completely dressed. She was meticulous with her dressing and her fashion sense, and that reflects in her choices of car as well. It was CX-30. I would not be surprised if she would have chosen a Mini or something like that. But she made a 30 or 40,000 ringgit cheaper choice as opposed to a Mini. But then maybe it's a good choice, I don't know. But it was definitely a fashion statement. Yeah, and that was premium to me. I admire, not that I admire that car, I wouldn't want to drive a CX-30 because it's too small for me. But I admire it, it's like, wow, she has something premium, man. You get what I mean?
It's a good point, which you're making. Their product line is sort of diverging into slightly premium mass market and properly premium.
Right.
And I think they are conscious of this as well. I think their objective has always been to climb up the price rung. Because if you see a $137,000 CX-5, the base model, the GL, nobody buys that. Everybody goes straight for GLS.
Which is 150.
Yes, exactly. So I think they are conscious of the fact that you can't keep selling competitively against CRV.
Yeah, because the Chinese cars are coming.
Exactly.
And they will outprice you any time.
X70 will kill off any base model.
Correct.
So I think you can see what Mazda is doing even behind the scenes.
Right.
Me paying attention to the rumors and all that.
Right.
They're bringing in rear-wheel drive inline 6 in the next generation.
Correct. The next generation Mazda 6 is going to be inline 6 rear-wheel drive. It's going to be more BMW than BMW. In fact, it's so BMW that Toyota is like, dude, I'm gonna voucher on you like how I voucher on Subaru's Boxer 4. I heard the new Mark X is going to be based on the Mazda 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they bring up the Mark X or whatever it's going to be called after this. Mark 12 maybe. And possibly the CX-5 next generation might get a rear-wheel drive setup. We don't know, but these are the rumors that are going around.
I see.
So in the next generation,
I mean, if it runs on the same platform, then why not?
Exactly. Or they might slot a new CX-6 or something like that.
BMW will say, wow, brother, you're 30 years too late to the game.
I think it's a good thing because BMW can no longer do this. BMW is doing the opposite, They're putting front-wheel drive.
Correct.
3-cylinder, in their 1 Series.
They're showing off because they're telling you what is physically impossible, I do it for you. You say inline 3 is shit, I do it for you. You say front-wheel drive is shit, I do it in a Mini for you. So
at the same time, they're flexing their brand. My brand is so strong, I can do whatever, and the fans will still buy my stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas Mazda is doing the opposite, where this is what BMW could only do 20 years ago.
Correct.
And can no longer do.
But you look at the direction with the Sky Active, it's the same thing. They're doing things back down to the physics, right? Down to basics, right? They're doing it right, not looking for ways to cheat
leapfrog.
Leapfrog, putting a turbo, supercharge the whole damn thing until you get 250 horses out of a 1.3. I mean, you can, but should you? That's another. So I think Mazda is like BM lah. They're trying to be the BM of Japan, isn't it?
Yeah. The 90s BM.
Yeah, the 90s BM. Yeah, a more purist BM. But the question then becomes, does this sell?
does it sell?
Yeah, because even BM, when they reach a certain threshold, they become like Mercedes.
Yeah.
You know, they find solutions not just based on their principle. They lose that principle a little bit to accommodate a wider audience. And Mazda will have to do that, isn't it?
I think right, the fruits of what Mazda is doing is going to pay off in the long term.
Right.
Because Mazda 3, when it launched, poor sales, a lot of bad response about the price and all that.
Correct. But is it selling? It's not selling, is it?
In 2019, it was one of the best-selling vehicles for 1 month. The climb was very, very extravagant.
Okay.
So it shows you like, hey, you know,
there's
a little bit of interest building.
Right.
And I think it will come slowly.
Okay.
And especially now, when times are kind of uncertain, traditional BMW, Volvo, Mercedes owners might say,
you know,
plug-in hybrid is a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
I want to get a normal engine.
I dropped down a little bit, but I still want a premium feel.
Exactly. Mazda still gives you that objectively product is not normal, not mass market. It is a little bit premium. I give you that.
Okay.
But you know, you pay a lot less.
So I mean, long story short, Mazda is trying to go premium. I think we've established that, and some of their product feels a little bit premium. Does feel a little bit premium. But overall speaking, do you think they succeed in their direction, and where do you see them in 10 years' time?
This is the problem. I think premium, as in the whole genre of premium, there's always there has to be a leader.
Yeah.
And it's usually Mercedes or BMW.
Right.
So if you're not following very close behind, you're going to sort of lose out.
You're saying if you're doing something else other than that.
Else, yeah.
Okay.
So
it's a little bit like in the premium sports car rung, you have Ferrari, McLaren, and Porsche. Yeah.
They all are doing the same
thing. And they're all doing the same thing because you know why? They are pushing the envelope right at where human technology can. Now, if you're not there to play that game, you become Aston Martin. You come up with a Vulcan instead of a P1, right?
And then you have to restructure your whole company halfway through.
Correct. Or you become like Lamborghini, which is like a handicap because you're an illegitimate child of Porsche and whatnot, and you can never be there. So in a way, you're right. If you're not in the club, you will always be a little bit by the wayside.
Yeah. And it's a very scary place.
It's a niche place, and niche is scary because niche in today's market is dangerous. Especially after COVID, I personally feel. After COVID, people go for bread and butter as opposed to, you know, cutting edge or risky. Yeah? They want bread and butter, they want simple down to earth product. Now the question then becomes, Mazda, how do you factor into this purchase? No, this purchase market is best for selling Vios. Selling Vios.
Freaking Perodua, man.
Even the most for those with very risky appetite, you know, X70 will be right at the edge of where you're roughly willing to go.
But I think Mazda is still comfortable, you know, because there are some people who they've been buying premium for the last 30, 40 years. And they cannot be seen back in the Vios. They cannot be seen back in
it's not acceptable for them mentally to go back to a Vios now.
So I think Mazda is just in that sweet spot where a lot of people dropping down
you're still talking about picking up scraps, you know.
It is fair. Would I rather be, personally, if I was working in a company or in charge of a company, would I rather be in Mazda picking up scraps falling from up high, or would I rather be Jaguar Land Rover trying to reach sideways into BMW and take this way?
Oh, but Jaguar Land Rover is very successful. I just don't know what they made with their money, what they did with their money. They're in financial trouble after selling the most amount of car ever. which makes no sense. It makes no sense.
They do a lot of fleet sales. Taxis in Scandinavia.
Is it?
All the E.
But
pace.
I mean, the reality is you never hear Chinamen talk about Range Rover. You never. You know, the last Chinaman craze was Audi, and Audi is fizzled away. Now it's Range Rover
again.
You know, every Chinaman likes a Range Rover, and they know how unreliable these things are, but they still flock to it. I don't know why.
But I mean, to me, honestly, I feel like the direct competition, if you're not one of the three Germans, or BMW and Mercedes, everyone else is in a very risky part of town. If you're Volvo and all that, like, if one thing messes up, you're gone.
Right.
Whereas Mazda is the only way is up. There's no way you can lose so much brand value that you go down.
You're right, because the top of the line are the Audis, BMW and Mercedes, and they're doing the same thing. They're all doing the same thing. But in the second round, which is the slightly outliers, you have Volvo who cannot make cars like, or either they cannot or don't know how to. I don't know lah.
Every brand has a handicap. You know, every brand has a handicap.
So heavy for a S60, like what?
Yeah.
You're the weight of an S-Class. You are 2 rank down.
You're compact executive.
The weight of an S-Class.
Yeah.
Then you have a Mazda, which is like you have some handicap, which is like your brand is associated with some, you know, a pedestrian product, like.
But at the same time, Pro, I'm $60,000 cheaper.
Correct.
And over the long run, I don't lose as much money.
Correct.
My parts don't cost a bomb.
Okay.
You can keep me for 10 years.
Okay.
I will not kill you. You know? So it's not. I wouldn't call Mazda premium, but I would call it aspirational.
Okay, aspirational.
And a bit more aspirational than Hyundai and Kia. Because Hyundai and Kia, they just never had the brand value. They missed a lot of steps.
That being said, I am very infatuated with the Stinger GT.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing is kind of special.
Yes, that thing is
If
special.
only you can get Tesla.
Tesla, where are you? Where are thou, Teslas? You know, ultimately, even in premium market, you have value. A BMW 3 Series at low end of 200,000, that's value. Yeah, that's real value. If you can buy a 3 Series at 210, 20, 30,000, this kind of range, it will fly. But I'm not seeing a lot of BMW.
Yeah. And the 320i, which was just released and just updated recently.
Yeah.
Still don't see.
I don't see that many, surprise. Not that many.
Even after the CKD.
A bit, not many. Yeah?
Not as many as I would hope. When the F30 came out, everywhere.
Everywhere. The C-Class came out everywhere. And then it was so strong for so many years. And then it slows down a bit, then the facelift comes, bam, and then it starts running again. Well,
maybe it's a sign of the times.
Maybe. People are going back to basics. 100,000, 150,000, cut it off. So the question then becomes, Mazda, can you survive in this market?
I'm quite optimistic.
Okay.
I think it'll be a bit rough.
Okay.
Their margins probably they're playing in dangerous territory. But I think if they keep doing what they're doing, they'll be good. Because I personally know lawyers who have switched over from BMW
to Mazda. Okay.
2.5 turbo Mazda CX-5.
Right.
Dude, you're outrunning a base model
Macan.
What do you want in life?
Yeah. The thing handles pretty okay.
It is.
Yeah. The smaller engine is a bit draggy, but if you have enough power, I think that thing can be quite fun. Speaking of value, everybody wants premium lah. I don't blame people for wanting to feel good, you know. So naturally, when you dine out, also you want to feel good.
Yeah.
But how many of us want to pay $70, $80 a person for a meal? Not many. All right. So that's where TGG comes in. In this kind of places, you get a premium feel, as if you're in a very expensive restaurant, but you're not paying the same kind of pricing. What you're looking at is somewhere between 15 to 20 ringgit per meal. Beer, frozen mug beer at 10 ringgit. So I think that's value. Mazda value. Premium at a discount.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
The atmosphere is almost indistinguishable from a very high-end place.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching our podcast. This is our very first podcast. This is Bo and Subhash. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.